Hey Anna, here's this week's practice guide. So 3 objectives, as per usual, and the first 2 could kind of be lumped into one, but we're going to call them 2 objectives. So, first objective is switching between the chords C, G, D minor, and F in that order, slowly with just the left hand, so you don't worry about strumming or picking. And the whole point of this is so that you can feel which fingers move and which ones stay still. And if you're just really mindful of moving like a sloth, your brain will memorize all of those motions. Because when we're learning chords and we practice, C, all right, now G, okay, now D minor, we lose the idea of continuity between the chords. But by moving really slowly and purposefully and sloth-like, there's no wasted movement. And if you're used to that, then your brain will memorize that and speed it up until it's that simple. So that's objective number 1. And don't worry about getting so fast that you can, do that. But get as fast as you can. Then the second objective is to do that, but to strum. And that's simple to think about, but it's hard because we're still developing finger strength. And that means that sometimes a chord will sound like that. It's all about getting that extra strength in there. So this week, it might seem really simple in your head and sound horrible on the fretboard and be incredibly disappointing, but that's what practicing is. So that's objective number 2, is strumming through the chords in that order. Then objective number 3 is still hanging around the A minor pentatonic scale, but we've been experimenting with different picking techniques and what have you. So at the very end of our lesson, we talked about the hammer-on technique. And that's where you strum once with your right hand, and then you create the second noise by hammering on with your left hand. So that's a hammer-on. And you can do hammer-ons all the way up the scale. And so that's the first part. We want to do hammer-ons all the way up. And then backwards, switch back to alternate picking. So when you're ascending, when you're going up with hammer-ons, always remember to keep your index finger in place when you play the second note. You can't go. You have to keep this down like an anchor. See what I mean? And then when you're going backwards, I want you to still actually say the words down, up, down, up, down, up. So this is what I would expect from you to be able to do next week, all in all, for objective number 3. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It doesn't have to be that fast, but that's objective number 3. So objective number 1 is moving between the chords with just your left hand. Objective number 2 is being able to just make those chords sound, even if it hurts and feels horrible. And then the third objective is hammer-ons up and speaking and alternate picking on the way down. That should do you. I look forward to seeing you next week.